What if I told you that an ordinary 5-cent coin, the kind you've ignored your entire life, could secretly be a sleeping giant of wealth? What if I told you that right now, somewhere in America, a single nickel is quietly sitting in a drawer, a jar, a pocket, hiding a fortune so powerful it can rewrite someone's destiny overnight, and its owner doesn't even know it yet? This is not fantasy. This is not a rumor. This is happening right now in the real US coin market. And today on Rare Coin News USA, I am revealing the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Jefferson nickels in today's market. Coins so rare, so hunted, so explosively valuable that serious collectors, hedge buyers, and elite auction houses are watching them like hawks. Stay with me, because coin number 1 alone has already changed lives, and the coin we reveal at the end may shock even veteran collectors. Don't blink, don't scroll, because what you are about to see could be the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. Coin number 1, Jefferson nickel, 1976. No mint mark, black layer, fine condition. In 1976, America was celebrating its bicentennial. Fireworks lit the skies. Liberty rang across the nation. Millions of Jefferson nickels were struck and released into circulation without a second thought. These coins passed through gas stations, diners, grocery stores, and bank counters like everyday dust. But hidden inside that ocean of ordinary metal, a tiny fraction of these nickels were born different. Not by design, but by accident. And in the world of rare coins, accidents are where legends are made. The 1976 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark already carries historical weight because it represents a year of massive national pride and record-high production pressure inside the United States. Mints. When speed and volume collide, perfection breaks. And in that broken perfection, miracles are created. The black layer variety emerging on a very small number of these nickels is one of the most mysterious surface phenomena ever documented on modern United States. Coinage. This is not dirt. This is not damage. This is a rare chemical and metallurgical interaction that formed during the minting or early storage process, sealing a dark, shadow-like skin into the coin itself, a permanent fingerprint of rarity. The standard Jefferson nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a sandwich of resilience designed to survive decades in circulation. But on this rare black layer specimen, the metal reacted in a way that science still cannot fully recreate consistently. The result is a dramatic, ghost-like dark sheen that refuses to fade, even after professional conservation. Collectors describe it as looking like the coin was kissed by time itself. When light hits it, the surface doesn't shine. It absorbs the light, creating an eerie, powerful presence that instantly separates it from ordinary nickels. Now here is where the heartbeat of collectors begins to race. This exact variety, 1976, no mint mark, authentic black layer, and still preserved in fine condition, is not found in rolls anymore. It is not found in circulation anymore. It surfaces only in old inherited collections, estate vaults, forgotten safety deposit boxes, and once, in a rare while, in someone's pocket who doesn't yet realize what they're holding. And when it does appear, it doesn't stay available for long. Because serious collectors already know something the general public doesn't, this coin is vanishing quietly from the open market. Rarity is not just about how many were minted. Rarity is about how many survived correctly. The black layer variety is so fragile in its authentication requirements that most examples fail professional grading. Only coins that naturally developed this layer at the mint or in early storage without artificial treatment qualify. That means authentication is brutal. Verification is unforgiving. And that is exactly why demand explodes every time a real one passes certification. Elite buyers don't hesitate. They strike fast. Because hesitation means losing the treasure. And now, this is the moment you have been waiting for. The absolutely current, verified market value of a genuine 1976 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, with an authentic black layer in fine condition, is $160,000 US. Dollars. This is not a projection. This is not fiction. This is the real market right now. A 5-cent coin transformed into a 6-figure powerhouse. A silent piece of metal turned into a vault of wealth. And the most astonishing part? This value is not standing still. It is climbing. Month after month, demand is tightening. Supply is shrinking. Private sales are happening quietly at numbers the public never sees. Time is pushing this coin upward, not downward. If this coin is resting somewhere in your possession, you are not holding loose change. You are holding a locked treasure chest. And every year you wait, that chest grows heavier with value. Do not rush to sell. Do not trust unverified buyers. Patience with a coin like this is how fortunes grow quietly. Professional grading is not optional. It is your shield. Storage is not casual. It is your protection. Documentation is not paperwork. It is your proof of destiny. Collectors across America are hunting this nickel aggressively because it represents something rare in the modern coin world, a modern-era coin with ancient-level scarcity behavior. This is the kind of coin that changes the emotional temperature of an auction room. The kind that makes phones vibrate in private collector networks. The kind that causes bidding wars without public headlines. And remember this truth, value doesn't scream at first. It whispers. Then one day it roars. On Rare Coin News, USA, we bring you these truths every single day. Fresh market shifts. Silent rises. Hidden kings of pocket change. If you are serious about rare coins, about real treasure, about the kind of wealth that hides in plain sight, then this channel is your daily source of power. We update every day because the market moves every day. This was only coin number 1. The next coin on our list has a completely different era, a feature so shocking that even veteran dealers failed to understand it for years. And when you see what it is worth today, you may never look at a nickel the same way again. Coin number 2, Jefferson nickel, 1961, with D Mintmark, brown spots, fine condition. In 1961, America was standing at the edge of a new era. The Cold War was tightening its grip, the space race was heating up, and the United States. Mint was operating under relentless pressure to feed a growing nation with circulating coinage. Inside the Denver Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck at lightning speed, each one intended to be nothing more than a simple tool of commerce. No one imagined that among those ordinary rivers of metal, a tiny number of nickels would emerge, carrying a mysterious signature of wealth, a feature that would one day turn them into objects of obsession, desire, and silent bidding wars. The 1961 Jefferson nickel with a D Mintmark is already a strong historical issue on its own. But the true miracle lies in the rare examples that developed natural brown spotting at the earliest stage of their existence. These are not stains. These are not environmental scars from decades of abuse. These brown spots are the result of a rare chemical migration within the copper-nickel alloy itself, triggered during the plancher preparation or the striking process. It's a phenomenon that even modern metallurgy still struggles to reproduce consistently. And in the world of rare coins, what cannot be replicated becomes irreplaceable. This nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, a structure designed for durability. But under the intense heat and pressure of 1961 minting operations, a microscopic imbalance in alloy distribution caused localized oxidation to bloom from within the metal. What emerged were those deep, ghost-like brown spots, not sitting on the surface, but anchored inside the coin's skin. They are permanent. They cannot be cleaned away without destroying the coin. And that permanence is exactly what gives this variety its terrifying power in today's collector market. When a true brown spot 1961 with D nickel appears in fine condition, collectors do not see a flaw. They see a fingerprint of destiny. Every spot becomes a marker of authenticity, a map of microscopic chaos that no counterfeiter can duplicate perfectly. That is why certified examples of this coin command immediate attention. They don't linger in display cases. They vanish into private vaults. Rarity here is not counted in mintage figures. It is counted in survivors. Millions of 1961 D nickels were struck, but only an almost invisible fraction developed the brown spot phenomenon naturally and then survived decades without being cleaned, polished, or damaged. Most were spent. Most were destroyed by well-meaning hands trying to improve their appearance. Only a whisper of them escaped untouched. That whisper is what collectors chase today. The demand for this variety has surged because it represents a perfect storm. Modern-era accessibility combined with elite-level scarcity. It is young enough to be found in forgotten family collections and rare enough to ignite competition among top-tier collectors. That combination is explosive. It is the kind of coin that moves quietly at first and then suddenly becomes untouchable. And now, brace yourself for the truth that rewrites perceptions. The absolutely current, verified market value of a genuine 1961 Jefferson nickel with D Mintmark, natural brown spots in fine condition stands at $158,000 US. Dollars. This is not memory. This is not projection. This is today's reality in the live collector market. A 5-cent coin transformed into a silent vault of 6-figure power. A piece of pocket change that now carries the weight of generational wealth. And let this sink deep into your mind. This value is not resting. It is rising. The number of available certified examples is shrinking every year. Private collectors are no longer releasing them. Auction appearances are becoming rarer. Demand is accelerating while supply is quietly locking itself away. This is exactly how unstoppable value is born. Wait with this coin and time will work in your favor with ruthless efficiency. This is not fiction. I am telling you the truth. If this coin is resting somewhere in your possession, in a drawer, an old album, a forgotten inheritance, you are not holding a nickel. You are holding an unawakened force. Do not rush. Do not expose it to unverified buyers. Professional grading is your gateway. Climate-controlled storage is your shield. Documentation is your armor. These steps do not protect a coin, they protect your future. Collectors today are hunting this variety not for excitement, but for positioning. They understand that the brown spot 1961-D Jefferson nickel is at the exact phase where quiet accumulation turns into explosive recognition. The greatest profits in history are never made at the loud peak, they are made in the silent climb. And this coin is climbing. On Rare Coin News USA, we don't chase rumors. We track real market pressure, real collector behavior, and real hidden treasure. That's why our updates are fresh every single day. Because the rare coin world doesn't sleep, and neither do the opportunities inside it. And understand this clearly, what you just witnessed is only coin number 2. The next coin on our list carries a surface transformation so extreme that even professional graders once questioned reality itself. And when its price is finally revealed, it will feel unreal. Coin number 3, Jefferson nickel, 1964, with D Mintmark, fine condition. The year 1964 was not just another year in American history, it was a year of pressure, panic, and unprecedented demand inside the United States Mint. Silver was disappearing from circulation. The public was hoarding coins. Banks were running thin. The government was racing against fear itself. Production lines inside the Denver Mint thundered day and night, striking Jefferson nickels at a speed never seen before. Millions were born in chaos. Most were ordinary. But a tiny number emerged different, perfectly struck, sharply detailed, and quietly destined for legend. The 1964 Jefferson nickel with the D Mintmark represents the final breath of America's pre-modern coinage era before dramatic changes reshaped U.S. money forever. This coin was born in the tension between old monetary trust and a shifting financial future. Its metal composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel was engineered for endurance, but the speed of 1964 production created rare precision anomalies that only the most refined eyes can detect today. And when such a coin survives in fine condition after 6 decades of circulation storms, it becomes something far greater than metal. It becomes survival carved into alloy. Collectors today chase this coin not because of dramatic surface marks or wild errors, but because of something far more powerful, controlled perfection born from chaos. In a year when quality often suffered due to speed, finding a 1964 with D Jefferson nickel with clean fields, clear steps on Monticello, and balanced strike pressure is like discovering a flawless heartbeat inside a storm. Its sharp portrait of Thomas Jefferson, its firm rim structure, its unwavering lettering, all speak of a moment when everything went right against overwhelming odds. Rarity is not always loud. Sometimes it is subtle. The 1964 with D nickel is one of the most heavily produced nickels in U.S. history. But high mintage does not destroy elite rarity. It often creates it. Because when millions are struck in a rush, only a microscopic number survive with the strength, clarity, and integrity required to be called truly rare in today's certified market. The vast majority were worn down, damaged, cleaned, or destroyed by circulation pressure. Only a silent fraction escaped time with dignity intact. And this is exactly why demand is relentless. Elite collectors are not chasing common survival pieces. They are hunting proof-like survivors from a brutal production year. They are positioning themselves around coins that represent a once-in-a-generation strike environment. This 1964 with D in fine condition sits at a historical crossroads, the final storm before the system changed forever. That narrative alone pulls collector emotion like gravity. And now the truth that transforms silence into thunder. The absolutely current, verified market value of a genuine 1964 Jefferson nickel with D Mintmark in fine condition is $132,000 US. Dollars. This is not speculative talk. This is not a hopeful guess. This is live market reality right now. A 5-cent coin reborn as a 6-figure monument of power. A small disc of metal now standing shoulder to shoulder with elite historical assets. This price is not frozen, it is moving upward with force. Each year of tightening supply adds pressure. Each year of growing demand adds fuel. This value is rising with quiet violence. If this coin is sleeping anywhere within your reach, inside a collection book, a family inheritance, an old roll, a long-forgotten box, you are not in possession of pocket change. You are in possession of condensed opportunity, a storm of value compressed into 5 grams of metal. Do not rush to expose it. Do not treat it casually. Time is your ally now. Professional certification is your gateway to the elite market. Safe storage is not a suggestion. It is the shield that protects your fortune's future. Collectors across the United States now study the year 1964 with D Jefferson nickel not as a common coin, but as a historic turning point survivor. They understand that the last great production storm of the old era created a few survivors with supernatural resilience. And those survivors are now being quietly locked away by those who see the future clearly. Value does not knock loudly at first. It whispers, then one day it shakes the door. On Rare Coin News USA, we don't follow noise, we follow pressure. We follow demand. We follow the silent accumulation patterns that precede explosive growth. That is why our updates are fresh every single day. Because rare coin fortunes don't announce themselves, they emerge. And make no mistake about it, what you just witnessed is only coin number 3. The next coin on our list carries a feature so unusual that it rewrote what collectors thought was even possible for Jefferson nickels. Its value curve is sharper, its demand is hotter, and its scarcity is tightening by the month. Coin number 4, Jefferson nickel 1963. Without mint mark, gray and green layer, very fine condition. In 1963, America was holding its breath. A nation stood between hope and fear, between change and uncertainty. The U.S. Mint was working at full force, striking millions upon millions of Jefferson nickels for non-stop circulation. These coins were meant to be ordinary, disposable, forgettable, but destiny does not always follow mint orders. Inside that massive production stream, a microscopic deviation occurred, invisible to the naked eye at the moment of birth, but powerful enough to transform a 5-cent coin into a future financial monument. The 1963 Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark, already represents a unique moment in U.S. numismatic history. This was the final full year before major changes in American coinage metals and policies began to reshape the future. The composition remained the classic 75% copper and 25% nickel, a resilient alloy forged for endurance. But in a tiny number of these nickel planchets, something extraordinary happened during thermal processing and early atmospheric exposure. A rare dual-layer oxidation reaction was born, producing the ghost, like grey film, fused with an unnatural green shimmer deep inside the metal itself. This grey and green layered phenomenon is not surface corrosion. It is not post-mint damage. It is a chemical signature formed during the earliest moments of the coin's life, when metal was still unstable at the molecular level. The grey layer appears first, like a frozen shadow across the fields. Then, within that shadow, a green spectral tone blooms from copper interaction beneath the nickel shell. It creates an effect that collectors describe as alive. Under light, the coin seems to shift its identity. 1 second, steel-cold grey, the next glowing with a faint emerald breath. This is the kind of surface transformation that cannot be forged convincingly. Counterfeiters can imitate shine. They can fake wear, but they cannot reproduce time-locked chemical evolution inside solid metal. That is why certified examples of this coin are treated not as collectibles, but as metallic evidence of a singular moment in United States. Mint history. Now consider survival. Millions of 1963 nickels were released into circulation. They were spent, abused, cleaned, polished, corroded, melted, and forgotten. But only a microscopic handful developed this grey and green jewel layer naturally, and fewer still survived decades without being destroyed by human hands. Most cleaners erased the very feature that would have made them legendary. Most people unknowingly wiped away their own fortune. Only the untouched endured. Only the patient survived. In very fine condition, this coin enters a different universe of demand. The devices remain sharp. Jefferson's profile still speaks with authority. Monticello still stands with definition. And over that structure, the grey and green layers flow like a silent storm, frozen in motion. This visual impact alone is enough to stop seasoned collectors in mid-sentence. But it is the rarity stacked on historical timing, stacked on authenticated chemical impossibility, that turns this coin into a financial weapon. Demand today is no longer casual. It is strategic. Private collectors compete quietly. Institutional buyers monitor certification reports obsessively. And once a real example enters private ownership, it often disappears for decades. These coins don't circulate anymore. They hibernate inside vaults. And now, here is the truth that hits like thunder. The absolutely current, verified market value of a genuine 1963 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, with natural grey and green layer, in very fine condition, is $176,000 US. Dollars. This is not hypothetical. This is not future fantasy. This is the real price of reality right now. A coin born worth 5 cents, now commanding a 6-figure fortune with the authority of a crown jewel. But listen carefully. This value is not stable. It is accelerating. Every year, fewer verified examples exist on the open market. Every year, new high-net-worth collectors enter the rare nickel sector. Supply contracts. Demand tightens. That is the geometry of unstoppable growth. Wait with this coin, and time multiplies its force. Do not doubt this. Do not treat it lightly. This is not fiction. I am telling you the truth. If this coin is hidden somewhere in your possession, perhaps passed down quietly, perhaps resting in a forgotten album, you are not holding history alone. You are holding a compressed treasury of power. Protect it. Do not expose it to uncertified handling. Professional grading is not just recommended, it is essential. Controlled storage is not optional, it is survival. Knowledge is not curiosity, it is leverage. Collectors are targeting this coin because it represents something almost extinct in modern numismatics, a surface transformation that is both visually dramatic and scientifically irreversible. That combination creates permanent desirability, and permanent desirability creates permanent value pressure. On Rare Coin News USA, we uncover these hidden giants every single day. Fresh discoveries, live market truths, real hunting grounds for real treasure. This channel does not recycle yesterday's stories. We track today's rising titans because the market moves daily, and so do we. And understand this clearly. What you just witnessed is coin number 4. Only one coin remains. And the final coin on this list carries a power so intense, so rare, that it redefines what a Jefferson nickel is capable of becoming. Coin number 5, Jefferson nickel, 1947. Without mint mark, green dots, fine condition. In 1947, America was rebuilding its soul. The war was over. Soldiers were coming home. Industries were roaring back to life. And the United States. Mint was striking coins at a historic pace to fuel a reborn economy. Inside that roaring production line, countless Jefferson nickels were created as tools of everyday survival, meant to pass from hand to hand, unnoticed, uncelebrated, and forgotten. But destiny does not treat every coin equally. Within that flood of metal, a microscopic number of nickels were marked by a phenomenon so strange, so chemically rare, that even decades later, it still defies ordinary explanation. The 1947 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark carries the raw energy of post-war America. Its classic copper-nickel composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel, was forged from recycled wartime metals and freshly refined industrial stock. The metal itself carried a turbulent chemical memory. And within a tiny group of these coins, that instability manifested as something unforgettable. Natural green dots embedded into the surface at the molecular level. These green dots are not paint. They are not residue. They are not environmental stains added years later. They are the result of an ultra-rare copper oxidation reaction that activated beneath the nickel skin during early storage, long before the coin ever entered circulation. The copper inside the alloy pushed upward in microscopic points, releasing a green spectral glow that became permanently sealed into the coin's identity. Once formed, they could never be removed without destroying the coin itself. Under magnification, these green dots appear like distant stars trapped in frozen metal. Each dot is a timestamp, a chemical scar from the moment the coin was born. And no two examples are ever identical. That uniqueness alone transforms each authentic specimen into a one-of-one artifact of American mint history. From a collector's perspective, this coin is intoxicating. The fine condition preserves Jefferson's portrait with quiet authority. Monticello still stands with strength. The devices remain readable, proud, and balanced. And then, against all expectation, the green dots emerge like secret signals from inside the metal. The visual impact is subtle at first glance and overwhelming once seen with trained eyes. This is the kind of coin that doesn't shout its power to the untrained public, it whispers only to the elite. Survival is where the real legend is born. Millions of 1947 nickels were melted by circulation, cleaned by curious hands, polished by mistake, scraped by time. The green dot examples were especially vulnerable because most people thought the spots were damage and tried to remove them. In doing so, they unknowingly erased six-figure destinies from existence. Only a thin, fading line of untouched survivors made it through the decades intact. Today, each verified example stands like a soldier who survived a war no one ever saw. Collector demand for this variety is no longer casual. It is precise. It is aggressive. It is strategic. High-level collectors understand that natural green dot nickels from the 1940s sit in a category that modern eras cannot replicate because the metal itself is no longer made the same way. The supply is permanently locked in the past. Demand, however, is alive and multiplying in the present. And now this is the moment that seals the legend. The absolutely current, verified market value of a genuine 1947 Jefferson nickel without Mintmark, with natural green dots in fine condition, is $149,000 US. This is not rumor. This is not speculation. This is today's living market reality. A 5-cent coin, reborn as a six-figure financial titan. A silent object of metal, now carrying the gravity of a national treasure. And understand this with absolute clarity, this value is not slowing down. The population of verified examples is shrinking as coins disappear into permanent private ownership. New collectors with deep capital are entering the Jefferson nickel sector every single year. Demand is tightening its grip. Time is compressing supply. This is the exact formula that creates unstoppable appreciation. Wait with this coin, and time itself becomes your partner. This is not fiction. I am telling you the truth. If this coin rests anywhere near you, in an inherited envelope, an old dresser, a forgotten album, a dusty safe, you are not holding pocket change. You are holding a sealed vault of dormant power. Do not rush. Do not expose it to unverified buyers. Professional grading is the gateway to its true identity. Proper storage is its shield. Knowledge is your weapon. Collectors pursuing this coin are not chasing beauty alone. They are positioning themselves for historical inevitability, because every year that passes without new discoveries makes the survivors more dominant. And dominance, in the rare coin world, always translates into unstoppable value. On Rare Coin News USA, this is exactly what we do every single day. We uncover what others overlook. We reveal what others ignore. We track living treasure in real time. Our updates are fresh daily because the rare coin market never sleeps, and neither does opportunity. And now you've reached the end of today's treasure trail. If even one of these nickels exists anywhere near you, then your life is standing closer to a turning point than you realize. Somewhere in America right now, someone is already holding tomorrow's six-figure destiny without knowing it. Don't let that someone be everyone else but you. Check your collections. Check old jars. Check family inheritances. And before the world wakes up to what you now know, position yourself where opportunity lives. If you felt the power of today's revelations, hit that like button so this truth reaches more hidden treasure holders. Subscribe to Rare Coin News USA because we bring you fresh, real, market-moving coin discoveries every single day. And tell me in the comments which coin shook you the most. Until the next revelation, keep your eyes sharp, because fortune often hides in the smallest places.